But we are starting with the tragic story that has dominated the news this morning, and that is of the mass shooting on Bondi Beach yesterday. According to reports, 15 people, including a 10-year-old girl, have been killed after two gunmen opened fire during a Jewish community event to celebrate the first night of Hanukkah. Police say the two gunmen were a 50-year-old father who died at the scene and his 24-year-old son, who remains in hospital in critical condition. This is the country's worst mass shooting in almost 30 years. And Jane, you texted me yesterday morning, kind of as it was happening, horrified as everyone is. Yeah.
It was weird, I happened to be sitting watching the news at the time, and there was some sort of panel discussing something, and then suddenly this started to unfold on air. And of course, in the days of social media and everybody's got a phone, it's uploaded as it's happening, and you're seeing these images. And, you know, I mean, it's shocking enough as an event, but to actually see it...
I know, almost in real time.
Almost in real time is just so strange. But for me, the human stories that came out of it so quickly, so... You know, the have-a-go hero that we all saw, he was coming up behind a car, he crept up on one of the gunmen, knocked the gun out of his hand. So he's a gentleman called Ahmed Al-Ahmed, and he's been in Australia for 10 years himself. He's Syrian-born. He runs a convenience store. Both of his daughters were born in Australia. They're aged 5 and 6. And he said to the guy he was with, when he went after this guy, he said, look, I'm going to die. Tell my family I saved people's lives. And, you know, it's a stunning story in the middle of absolute horror, you know, the worst of humanity and the best of humanity. And $1 million has been raised online already by the people of Australia for him going forward. So... I mean, because he did get shot. He got shot in his shoulder and his arm, and he's in hospital. But you know, thankfully he's okay. But
as you say, it's that extreme, isn't it? The best and the worst of humanity.
The best and the worst.
But also the festival of Hanukkah, which is of celebration and of light, and Bondi Beach.
I know, it's
we
mad.
Associate with
it's mad. I just literally was on that beach, like not Bondi, but on an Australian beach last week, and you know, we were there with the family after, you know, I got evicted from the jungle, and we were just walking around Australia, you know, just soaking up the sun. It's the start of summer there. It's just, it feels such a safe place. It's a place that we all dream to live, you know, because it's everything that we think the UK isn't. I mean, I was in a cafe and this lady came in and she put her keys down on a table and a phone to hold the table, went in to order her ice cream. And my husband and I were just looking at each other thinking, is it that safe here that you could just, you know, hold a table with your phone? Like in London or any other part of the UK, it would get snatched. And we thought, gosh, maybe, you know, maybe Australia isn't going through what we're going through, you know, in Europe at the moment. Maybe this is just like a dream place and there isn't violence or crime.
Well, I think there are two sides to Australia.
Yeah.
I mean, I first went to Australia in the 1980s and I hosted a daily show on Channel 9, which is, you know, one of the main channels in Australia. So I lived there for 6 months on TV every day, and I lived in Sydney and I went to that beach regularly. And like Jane, I started watching it on the television and I just wanted to unwatch it. I didn't want... the images are kind of stenciled on your head, inside your head, and it's just so shocking because that is truly a family beach. It's a beach for everyone, and it always has been, and it's one of the, you know, the great beaches of the world in so many ways. And the positive thing about Australia is that on a beach, everybody's equal and, you know, anyone can go to the beach. It's a very egalitarian society. When I watched that yesterday, I thought, well, how long has this been brewing in Australia? Because although they made their gun laws much stricter, now we discover that one of the gunmen had 6 guns. So you wonder...
But there is also the discussion that's ongoing in Australia, and I don't want to prejudge this because we don't have that knowledge, but, you know, there is talk about tightening the gun law, but there has to be an acknowledgement that this was an anti-Semitic
attack.
You know, attack. And you were saying you felt very safe in Australia, but I think we know that Jewish people, not just in Australia, but all over, are not feeling safe. And there are also people there saying that their feeling is and I'm just reporting what is out there, that this was almost inevitable because anti-Semitic attacks in Australia, other parts of the world, but in Australia, are at a historic high.
And,
so we can't get away from that.
Well, I mean, obviously we must mention the 16 people that were killed, the victims, but also one of them, Alex Klateman, 87 years old. He survived the Holocaust as a child and he died on that beach protecting his wife.
Yeah.
And I think there will be other, you know, obviously over the next few days and hours, we're going to hear about more stories of heroism because at the moment, you know, it's early days in unpicking what exactly went on. So we're going to hear about more people protecting their family desperately and more people who will have given their lives to protect their young ones.
Though I must say what struck me, you know, reading about it this morning in a horrific event with such a loss of life is when you start to hear the stories of Jewish people that for a long time have been feeling unsafe, taking kids to school, going to buy bread, you know, doing the ordinary things of life that many of us take for granted. And that was a bit of a wake-up call for me, you know, I have to say this morning. And obviously we're sending all our thoughts and prayers. What else can we do? Unfortunately, we don't have anything else to offer at this time.